Hi, I'm Dr. Jen, and thank you for tuning in today. Today I want to talk about the question that's in the email, and this question is, are you setting yourself up unintentionally for emotional eating and binging? And I want to talk about two strategies that really make a difference for people to really begin to shift their relationship with food and body and to stop struggling with the emotional eating and the binging, particularly when it happens at night. It can happen at other times during the day, but this is the pattern I see with so many people. So let's talk about the strategies, and then it's going to make more sense why that occurs during the nighttime. So the first one is planning and preparation. And I know this might sound so basic, but sometimes those very basic foundational principles are those things that make the biggest difference to shift our relationship with food and body. So I want to think about this analogy of being a student. So what about, and you might be a student as well, but think about if you were just showing up for class, you hadn't done your homework, you hadn't studied for the test, and then you're just going to wing it. Sometimes you wing it and it kind of goes okay, and you make an okay grade and it's fine, and you're doing your homework on the way to school and you turn it in and you get what you get. That can be how sometimes many of us go through our days around our mealtime, that we haven't really thought about how are we going to get our meals in? What are we going to do about snacks? But we'll figure it out. And then the day gets really busy. And what can happen, it's easy to put off our meals. It's easy to then skip meals. It's easy to then choose food choices that don't feel as good for us in our bodies. And so when this chaoticness happens throughout the day, by the time we get to the evening, I can tell you it's really not going to go very well during the evening. So what I want you to begin thinking about in terms of planning and preparation is to really start looking at how can I schedule my meal times in? Breakfast, lunch, dinner, my snacks. How can I start thinking about what are those food choices, what are those complete meals that I want to start doing? And also, who am I going to be eating these meals with? Because sometimes people tend to do better when they're eating with people who really support this kind of conscious eating. So putting in some thought, putting in some planning is going to make a huge difference for that nighttime emotional eating and binging. The second strategy that I want to share with you is this idea of giving yourself some me time during the day. And I know that might sound like, oh my gosh, Dr. Jen, I barely can get through what I have to get through my day to now think I'm going to have me time. And I'm not talking about a whole day at the spa, although that would be nice, right? But I'm talking about these little moments where we can stop long enough, we can pause, we can give ourselves the break. Because here's one of the things I find. So many times when we're trying to understand what is the function of this eating struggle, many times clients will say to me, Dr. Jen, this is the one time during my day where I get the break. When I'm eating the food and I'm sitting in front of the TV and I'm just finally giving to myself. So the struggle is trying to communicate something. It's trying to communicate that you do need your needs taken care of. So by the time we've gone through this whole day of not giving to ourselves, not nourishing ourselves well, winging it, it's almost going to be inevitable that the food struggle is going to occur, or it's more likely to occur. So the struggle doesn't really just occur during the evening. There has been this whole setup unintentionally to get to this point. So what I'm really speaking to is beginning to do something different from that very first meal. That will really begin to shift this relationship with food and your body. So by the time you get to the evening, there may be other ways you can begin taking care of your needs, but it's going to be less likely that you're just going to do the automatic turn to the food. So that's what I wanted to share with you, and in our aliveness programs we certainly go into that in much more depth, but I wanted to share those two strategies that I know will make a difference for you. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you next week.